I'm getting to the point, I believe, in the game, still early on, like I said, still early days, where I think I can start making teams based off of like debuffs or buffs that I want. One of them would be bleeds. Then you have poisons, you have frostbite, those things. Damien may be the key to me building one of my bleed teams that I want to try out. We'll see how that goes though. So let's go ahead and get into this guy for Robin. Let's get to it.
There is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Gravity here, and this is a DC Worlds Collide video. In this video, I'm gonna go over Damien, and here's the thing. I know his name is Robin, but Robin, even though I know he's Nightwing, will always be Dick Grayson to me because of Batman Animated Series, best one on Earth, circa 1992. So I always just call him Damien. I don't know. It's such a stupid, weird thing I have, but for real, I really just call him Damien. I think, now that I'm looking at him too, his stats, I think he's the same size as my daughter. Oh, I think he's the same size. My daughter turns 9 in August. I think he's the same size as my daughter. I'm looking at his stats, and like, I think she's 38 kilos. She's tall too. Like she's tall for her age. Is he the same height as my daughter? That's funny. That is hilarious. Anyway, and I think she's tall. Okay, I have to look. I'm actually I'll send a message to her mom and her stepdad and be like, yo, how tall is she? Because I need to check and see if she's Robin size. Anyway, so Damien, his class is agile, so he's gonna be weak against the mighty and strong against tactical, and he's DPS. First thing I think of immediately is Superboy and Kid Flash, because that just seems like those three go together. Like even comic book wise, movie wise, like that's just those specific three too. This specific version of Superboy, John Kent, the specific version of Kid Flash, Wally West, and the specific version of Damien. And somebody tell me if I've lost my mind, if there's not a comic book or something where they're like basically a team together and it's just a bunch of kids. Let me know, but I feel like they go together well. Single target burst. This goes with the Batman team synergy that he has. Back row, I noticed that on it, and then bleeds. This is what I meant by the teams. And I want to know, we'll see this real quick. Okay, no. I was hoping that you could click on the tag and see all the ones that fall under bleeds. But yeah, okay, anyway. So let's go back and get to his kit before I go to his gear. First, affinities. So he does have a team synergy, which is why I need to stop thinking that team synergy is associated with the characters who are leaders. Albeit, wasn't he? No, he wasn't really a leader in the Teen Titans or anything like that. He was never really, he was headstrong and he was stubborn and he'd go out solo, but he wasn't really leading nobody. All deployed allies attack, HP, defense 6%. During the first 3 turns of battle, allies deal 12% more damage to enemy back row. But then you need the character to attack the back row. And in the first 3 turns, that means you have to rip through the first row, and that first row has tanks. You're not doing a lot of ripping. So automatically right there, that team synergy is a downgrade to me. Now, I know because, again, early days in the account, maybe there are some other characters that attack the back row. However, the only one I can think of right now is Penguin. Or am I looking at this the wrong way? If you have an AoE attacker like Green Arrow and he's hitting everybody, does that mean that the front row damage is going to be less than the back row damage based off this? Getting a call now. So does that mean that allies deal 12%? But it doesn't say that it has to be that they're only attacking that one, but that when they attack the back row, it's going to be increased damage. I am tempted to try that out in some way, shape, or form to see back row. I'm just trying to make a note so I remember, because I always say this stuff and then I get caught up in something else and forget. ADHD at work. All right, so then I can add a DPS character, and I do like it better when they do it like this. And then this is a support character. I like it better when they do it like this as opposed to like, or it's easier to build around as opposed to having like, you know, Bat Family and I don't know if they call it the Flash Family, but you know what I mean. It's easier because it's just a wider tag. So I can run him with Kid Flash and I can run him with Superboy. They're supposed to be together, but then at the same time, Kid Flash just doesn't activate until I have a tank. But I will run them together to try this out. Affiliations. Attack 5% HP, 2.5 for having Starfire. And Starfire, yeah, no, sorry, that's a team synergy thing with Superboy. And then attack and defense are 2.5%, and then HP is 5% because of Clayface and Scarecrow. I'm sure there's a comic somewhere where they work together. All right, so then we go to the skills, go straight to the basic. Charges at an enemy 2 times, each attack dealing physical damage equal to 60%, which is pretty standard. 65%. I mean, it's just 120 divided by 2, so that's actually pretty standard. 1 second, let me double check. All right, no, because I already wrote that down. All right, cool. So now on to advanced attack. Deals physical damage equal to 110% of attack to 2 random enemies. Deals physical damage to equal to 100% of attack to 2 random enemies. Does this mean that this attack, it'll hit 2 random enemies for 55% each? Or is it 110 each? Deals physical damage equal to 110% of attack to 2 random allies. I think that means like 110 each. Okay, cool. Maybe I'm overcomplicating things. Passive. Increases damage dealt to targets with more than 65% HP by 25%. Is this the damage that he deals? I'm guessing it's not for ally. He didn't say ally, so just his damage. Upon dealing damage, adds 1 stack of bleeds for 2 turns. The damage is 35%. Is increased by 35% because I have him level 2, and then rank 5 is increased by 50%. Bleeds, in case you didn't know, at the end of the turn, takes physical damage equal to 20% of attack, and increases shields received by 10%. That I always forget that part. Decreases shield by 10%. If proportion of HP is lower than 33%, the damage is doubled. Bleeds ignores shields and deals its damage directly to HP. All right, so now based off that, there isn't a kind of, and I'm sure they'll have more gear sets and stuff coming out or whatever, but there isn't like a set that increases your chance of laying down debuffs, right? Right. The bleeds are based off of attack. We do have more attack when it's the HP is more than 65%, which also makes me think that I want to try to keep him above 65%. Maybe put him in the back row, but then also put an HP set on him. Now, Son of the Demon charges at back row. Enemy 3 times. Each attack dealing. See, this is very specific. They say it specifically. Each attack dealing physical damage equal to 110%. Okay, so it's all focused on 1. All right. So it feels like I want to have an attack set and an HP set. So that way the HP will try to keep him above 65% for this thing here. And then the attack, that's what bleeds are based off of, and that's what he's doing a lot of. So I have attack and I have crit. Do I want him to crit? He's not doing that much damage to begin with, right? Or not saying that. I feel as though the damage that I want him to do is going to come from his bleeds, but isn't that a little bit? Let's see. Increases upon dealing damage. So no matter what he does, and that's why I was going back to double check. No matter how he hits the opponent, he's going to give them bleeds, right? So let's go ahead and try to see if there's anything I can do to change his gear. I don't want to do speed. I want health. I want health. I want health. So do I have an HP helmet? There's attack. There's an HP helmet in case I need to switch out. Here are the attack pieces. Here's the green heel steel piece that needs to go onto Penguin as soon as possible. Does that mean that I have something on Penguin that can be removed? Get off. it's all the way down here. Yes, yeah, no. Anyway, so that's the best attack piece that I have for him right now. I do not want him to have this chest piece anymore. We do not care about him critting. We want him to have health. Which means it's going to be a downgrade on the HP overall because of what this provides. But then I can match the set over here. I have an HP pool on Two-Face as well. HP gear. And then, nope. And then, nope. So I can change this to attack, like a common attack, or a rare attack instead of a common one. Big whoop. Let's just do it based off this. Do I have an attack piece that is elite? No, not that's open. I have an attack piece that is there. And then I have a health piece that's here that's already open. Do I have a belt that has health on it? I believe I do. Yep. So we will replace this and then we will replace this. So then again, thought process being, I want him to stay above 65% health. I'm even tempted to give him 2 sets of HP as opposed to just the one. Because then that would be a 6% bonus on top of it. So let's think about this for a second. Do I want to add another HP or do I want to increase the attack? I think I'm going to keep the attack up because then also that makes the bleeds do more damage. So let's back out of here. I think that is, yeah, I think that works for him. And again, that's what I said before. I don't level up any gear that isn't elite, at least elite. So let's replace this real quick with Pingy. And then we'll go take him into, attempt to take him into system recovery. Don't know why, honestly. Replace. Cool. All right, so let's go back. He's in my level link. He's at 120. Okay, so Evil Falls probably wouldn't be good for him. So let's try system recovery. Is system recovery more difficult now? Okay. Nope, still says it's easy. But I think he can do well here. Well is a relative term. Alright, so I kind of want him to target Zatanna in the back. So what I'm going to do is leave in Kid Flash. I'm going to take out Green Arrow. I'm going to put in Damien. This will actually kind of balance the odds a little bit more. I want him to hit this in the back row. She is going to also provide that support. And she can do some damage over... No, she can do damage here. Kid Flash also heals. We have the tank in Penguin. We'll keep him in. And then we have another damage dealer in Superboy. And now this will deal extra damage. Oh, that was the thing I wanted to check. You know what? Let's check this first. That's what we're going to do. We're going to check this first using Green Arrow, if we can. Because that way we can see, and I'm just going to restart the node. That way we can see how much damage he gets with that and then without it. So right now that's activated for Damien. Let's go ahead and get his ultimate leg up at the front. And then we're going to probably put it on 1x. So that I can try to see the damage in the back and see what the highest number was. Okay, so. Bong, bong, bong. Okay, so 999, 17 at the end over here on Red Hood. Or in that vicinity. All right, so now we restart. We're just going to remove that synergy. Okay, and now. Let's watch them. We were seeing 8, 9s, and 7s. So yeah, it was dealing more damage in the back. It did make him deal more damage in the back row on Red Hood. try that one more time. And then I'll let it run all the way through. But we're going to try that one more time. Because it was 8, 9, 8, 9, and then the last. Okay, so it was like 8. Yeah, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 17. Yeah, okay, so he's doing more damage on the back row as an AoE damage dealer because Damien's team synergy is activated. I like that. I like that a lot. That's another. That's kind of like an alternative to Two-Face, except it's limited time. So I'm on turn 3 already. However, we're already at the back row. So since we've already gone through the minions, that means that we now have these next 2 turns of increased damage because that's where we're attacking. And then after that, on the 4th turn, it should be gone. Oh, no crits. Okay. So I like Damien then. I do like him, and I want to try to build a bleed team with him. And maybe that will be my video later in the week, is trying to build a bleed team, a freeze team, a poison team out of the roster I currently have. And it may end up being more like bleed and poison pairs because I don't think I have enough to build a full one. In any case, I do like Damien. I'm going to cut the video here and pursue trying to build a bleed team. And in that case, I will have more details. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. Be on the lookout for the team synergy videos. Like I'm going to start doing that. And I think bleeds will be first, followed by poison. Thanks for watching all the way through. See you guys next time.